Hey guys, my name is Loco Doco, the better looking host of Listen Loco, and you're watching Thorin's YouTube channel.
You can always get 10% off Gamer Supps using the code Thorin, Thorin, at gamersupps.gg, their website. Here's a nice flavour. Nile Nectar, it's called. Unsurprisingly, it's a nectarine flavour. This isn't one of my favourites. I made actually a tier list about Gamer Supps. If you don't, you can go see what all my flavours are. I go into a decent amount of detail, contrasting them and putting them in the different tiers. But it's one of those ones where every now and then when I want something a bit different, a bit of variety, this is what I'll sometimes have. I've always personally thought nectarines taste nicer than peaches. Just one of my own takes there. They have a lot of obviously peach-based flavours at Gamer Supps, so it must be one of the flavours they've nailed. So I actually think this nectarine one's pretty nice. So here's a good one. Imagine dedicating 13 years of your life to harassing someone online. Didn't do that at all. The idea, by the way, even if for 13 years I'd harassed Rekkles, in no context is what I've done to Rekkles or spoken about Rekkles, harassing him online, by the way, 99.9999999% recurring of the comments I've ever said about Rekkles were never directed to him in any context. They were about him or about his fans or about him as a player or a public figure. I don't even tweet at him. I don't even send him messages. I've never ever reached out in an attempt to do an interview or a piece of content. So already that's an absurd characterization. But even so, let's imagine I had actually from day one of him being 15 years old in 2012, going fuck Rekkles, what a piece of shit. Which by the way, it still wouldn't be harassment since I'm unlike Rekkles fans. I'm not doing it directly to Rekkles. They do try to do it directly to me in the hopes of breaking my mental, and I'll just say it right now, I think actually thousands of them would genuinely actually feel schadenfreude. They would think it was joy if I killed myself. I'm not even trolling when I say that, but don't worry, they will never get their wish. So when they say this, imagine dedicating 13 years of your life, right? So guys, during that 13 years, I made something like $430,000 doing Counter-Strike events as an analyst, but bizarrely, while doing all those 70 plus events and 8 world championships and making $400,000+, I was actually dedicated the whole time to just hating a League of Legends player from Sweden. So it's almost like that doesn't even make sense. Then simultaneously, while I was dedicating 13 years of my life, I also made, check notes, thousands of interviews and pieces of content that were nothing to do with Rekkles. If you don't know, Reflections Alone, which were, by the way, was like a reboot of the Grilled series, and before that, the SK Gaming 101 series I did at Team Acer and SK Gaming, respectively. The Reflections series alone is up to something like episode 484. But no, during this whole time where I created more content not about Rekkles than about Rekkles by far, and just more non-Rekkles content than anyone else in the industry. No, what I did actually is just dedicate 13 years of my life to harassing someone online. It's almost like this person isn't even vaguely an honest individual. They're just a piece of shit. So let's keep going. Twisting their struggles into insults. Right, so when I actually got a video where I didn't give any of my own opinions, I actually just pointed out dozens and dozens of egregious stories of him being a dog shit teammate and being horrible to other people emotionally, fucking up their careers, fucking up their public image. No, that's me twisting their struggles into insults. Those stories are insults from me personally, even though they're actually stories of how Rekkles was a piece of shit to other people and weaponizing being on the spectrum against them, right? Somehow the fact I'm on the spectrum never ever factors in here. You know why? Because Rekkles fans don't give a fuck about autism unless they want to use it against you. They're now discovering they can use it as a shield for Rekkles. Before that, it was only ever used as a weapon against you, or even better, they don't give a fuck if you have it or not. They don't care. Not only do they not care about autism, they hate autism. Their behaviour over the last 10 plus years, to me and others, and like LS, etc., has proven they hate autistic people. It's why actually 99% of the things they ascribe to Rekkles being autistic isn't the behaviour of an autistic person. That's the craziest part about this. So he goes, Thorin, you've built a career on tearing others down. I haven't in any way. If you were to go and look at my content, the vast majority wouldn't be tearing people down, would it? You fucking dunce. But going after someone who grew up undiagnosed, they keep saying undiagnosed, by the way, guys, as though every other autistic person in the world was born and the doctor goes, he's autistic, so from day one, treat him differently. No, everyone's undiagnosed until they get the diagnosis, you fucking cretin. But no, you, someone who isn't autistic, are now going to tell me what life was like for someone autistic, how we should treat autistic people and how I've treated them and what that morally implies. So, who grew up undiagnosed with autism and labelling their natural behaviours as narcissistic. Right? So now, I, an autistic person, don't know what natural autistic behaviour is like because I'm not Raz Van Trifu. He knows naturally. He can get inside Rekkles' mind and know this. And even better, Rekkles being one of the biggest pieces of shit ever to teammates in Western League of Legends is actually natural behaviour caused by autism. He apparently has no agency over his own life. He can never choose who he likes, who he doesn't, who he's cool. He's just a robot automaton in this guy's world, and autism made him do it. You know that fucking Ice Cube song, Gangster Rap Made Me Do It? By their logic, autism made Rekkles do all this. Even though, by the way, some of the teammates he did that to were autistic. You just don't know that. In fact, some of them would be undiagnosed. And actually, I've said this in past videos, I think there are loads of undiagnosed autistic people in esports, including some of the victims of Rekkles' abuse. But you don't care about their abuse. In fact, the only abuse you care about is perceived imagined abuse towards Rekkles, which you can then use as an excuse to fool you. Checks notes, being abusive to someone autistic, directly if possible. You hope that every message you send gets to my eyes, goes into my brain, and is processed by me, and then I feel my emotions according to it. I've never attempted to do anything like that to Rekkles. I didn't even tag him, by the way, when I did the premiere for my video. Why not? That would be a mad way to get attention and to draw his attention, make sure everyone's seen it. Didn't do that at all, of course. Left him out of it, didn't I? He goes, that's disgusting, says this piece of shit who's just been so disingenuous in almost every word written. Ableist, right? Now, I, an autistic person, am hating people for having autism because you don't give a fuck who has autism except Rekkles, and you've decided everything's against being autism. By the way, by this logic, if Rekkles murdered someone, then you're ableist if you say he's a murderer because, hey, maybe that's just a natural behaviour autism. That's the dunce level we're on at this point in time. And pathetic. Says a guy writing a fucking, like, an actual novel, like a Jane Austen novel in fucking Tolstoy wrote less than this in his fucking books. Let's keep going, though. You're not a journalist or analyst. You can't even write English. Because anyone who reads or writes English enough would know it's a journalist. You could say you're not an analyst. That's correct. Because it's based on whether it's a vowel it starts with. Spoiler, the word journalist doesn't bring in with a vowel, you fucking dunce. But no, go ahead and tell me in my language that I am levels above you in how even my language works now and how to speak. Because again, that wouldn't be at all ableist towards an autistic person, would it? So I'm not a journalist. Spoiler, I quite literally won a Journalist of the Year award from the Esports Awards. If you were to go and ask the consensus greatest journalist in the history of esports, Richard Lewis, he would immediately tell you I am a journalist. And spoiler, I am actually revered by most of the journalists in the esports space. So I wonder, remember how I twisted the struggles of Rekkles and lied about him and weaponized him? But no, this guy wants me to see a message telling me all I've done my entire career is hate on Rekkles. I'm a piece of shit, I'm disgusting, I'm pathetic, and I'm not even any of the things I identify with, and my overwhelming output has proven I am. This person quite literally wants to not only attack my identity, he hopes he will destroy the very conception of who I am, provably, in my own mind via this fucked comment. You're a professional cyberbully. Yes, I'm paid. I professionally cyberbully people, you fucking dunce. Who hides behind self-righteous takes. No, it was righteous because I actually pointed out all the things that Rekkles had done via the people who were there in the room having it done to them or seeing it being done. But again, while preying on an easy target. Right, Rekkles is an easy target. Does it seem like this was easy, what I've gone through to expose his fucked up behaviour? Does that seem like an easy target? Does it seem like the guy that almost no one else ever in the history of the industry dared to address was being fucked up to them or others he is the opposite of an easy target, you fucking imbecile. He's about the hardest target you could ever have. Shout out to that movie from the fucking 90s or whatever. I think it was 1990, Hard Target. Look it up, Van Damme. You've spent over a decade. Right, we're back to that again. So before I spent 13 years, now we just spent over a decade. You spent over a decade pushing this obsession. I haven't. I just proved it earlier if you go watch that clip. At this point, it's not just toxicity. It's a full-blown fixation. Bro, how is this comment still going? This is mental. If you'd even just said like the first sentence, that'd already be bad enough. You're still fucking writing your novel, your screed about how I'm obsessed with Rekkles as you obsessively type. And remember, guys, the context of this video, he hasn't seen the fucking video yet. It hasn't come out yet. That's when this screenshot is. He hasn't even seen the video. He's just mental. He's just writing a screed about what might be in the video in his brain. Maybe the real, maybe the real narcissist piece of shit teammate was you. Yeah, you got me there. Nailed it, got him. Maybe the real narcissist is the guy who can't stop making everything about his personal grudges. It's weird how if I'm making it all about my personal grudges, I would make a video that contains checks notes, none of my opinions. It's weird. You'd think if it's a personal grudge, I'd pop a few opinions in there. I'm pretty well known when I don't like people for being quite sort of forthcoming with my opinions about them, you piece of shit. Rekkles grew, evolved, and kept striving. You literally cannot say that. You have zero by the way, you haven't even seen the video yet to know what he's grown from, what he's evolved from. He hasn't ever admitted the things he did. He still hasn't acknowledged them now. But no, because you worship him, he's grown, evolved, and keeps striving. But you, I didn't even press read more, because guess what? I don't want to read more. Here's a good one. Get some help for real. Hasn't seen the video. English Asmongold. The idea like Asmongold's the insult out of streamers. I know fuck all, by the way. I see he does all political shit. I will just say I know almost fuck all about his political opinions. But actually, of all the like big influencers and streamers, Asmongold actually seems like one of the more level-headed, cooler ones who actually seems like he thinks a little bit about what he's going to say. He doesn't seem like some bozo, like dickhead fucking Cometto or fucking, who would I even pick for this one? Fucking Moist Critical or Ludwig or whatever. They're fucking just bozo. They're fucking mimbos. This guy actually, of all of them, seems like a fairly well-balanced. English Asmongold. That's a diss, apparently. 25 people thought that was a diss. Lil bro, get that CV ready. You're gonna have to work at McDonald's soon. Which is it, guys? Do I just, for 10 plus years, farm drama and hate and somehow make money off that, which makes me evil? Or do I have no job and I desperately need to work at McDonald's? Spoiler, I just said, I sort of slipped it in there, but I think I was pretty overt. Just doing Counter-Strike events alone since 2013, I've made over $400,000. That's just Counter-Strike events. Do a little bit of maths on the back of a fucking napkin or your peanut 45, dickhead. Figure out how much I must have made over the years as a result. I have a YouTube that has millions and millions of views. I've worked as a journalist in terms of like freelance and for websites. I've also been like a creative director at a sports league in esports. I've worked for the #1 basic cable channel in fucking American TV with an O1 visa that's for like athletes and entertainers that desperately need to be allowed into America because America cannot replace them with their own workers. That's literally what that visa is. But no. I'm just an unemployed guy because I said something about Rekkles. And now I'm probably going to have to put the fries in the bag. I'm just going to do this again. I've done it many times before. There's a thing these idiots do where they just copy high status behavior. But because they're low status, they don't know what to self-own. Like, here's what's funny. If a random, like, small blogger or Twitter guy talked shit on Drake, I'll give you an example, during that Drake-Kendrick beef. If Drake went, who gives a fuck, bro? Just put the fries in the bag already. The reason why that would be a hilarious slam is because Drake is a multimillionaire who has incredible status. Admittedly, that's not maybe a good thing about society, but he has a lot of status within our culture. And obviously, he does not have to work at McDonald's and never will if he manages his career intelligently. Whereas that person is a nobody who doesn't have much fame, isn't making much money, and actually might have to put the fries in the bag. That might actually be a real reality for them. He's pointing out that they're low status and he's high status. How would it ever make sense for the guy who's a random shitter on YouTube to say to the person who's made millions of dollars just turning a webcam on and talking about esports that I'm going to have to put the fries in the bag and I work at McDonald's? Like, give me a fucking break. It's just shit. It's just shit. It's the same as that thing I've pointed out in the past, where when a nobody goes, you retweeted your own post. Yeah, you have hundreds of thousands of followers who weren't all online when they originally put the post up. So as a result, I retweet it now so that the ones who are using the following see my post now, and then it gets tens of thousands more views. When you, a nobody, retweet your post, that's because it got 5 views, and by retweeting it, it got 7 views. You're doing low-class behaviour, and even though it looks like I'm doing the same thing, I'm doing high-class behaviour. Do you see that yet? Do you see how low and high status work, you fucking dunce? People now know that certain behaviours Rekkles has are due to him being on the spectrum, and your misrepresentation will not stick. Hasn't seen the video yet. Too bad everyone knows now that you are simply lying. One, there's not a single lie in the video for my part. I even used journalistic methods to cross-reference and omitted things that only one person told me, or say someone just told me on a Twitter DM. Every single comment I heard, I actually had a voice call with the person, usually for up to an hour, going in depth back and forth over all aspects of it. But no, you haven't seen the video yet, but you're going to say without seeing the video that everyone knows I am lying. That is a literal, provable lie. I don't even need to go into why. Think it through. That is a provable lie. You haven't even seen the video, but to imply that it's full of lies, you have to have. So you're pretending you've seen a video you haven't seen. Everyone can see who Rekkles really is since he joined LR, Los Ratones, and he is nothing like what you make him out to be. Get out, LMAO. All I'm going to say is this, guys, food for thought. Imagine this was a video about, forget Rekkles for a second, a different person in esports sexually assaulting women. Imagine someone coming and going, what a fucking bullshit statement. You're obviously lying because since he joined offline TV and I've seen him on their stream, we all know who he is and he doesn't rape women, does he? He's a fucking great guy who's grown and evolved and you're just hating on him before ableism. You'd think, you're not only are you a moron, but holy fuck is that disingenuous and you're actually a bad person that you'd even attempt to make that false equivalence. LMAO looks like one last cash grab, $50 KEKW. By the way, the video made $900 alone before you inevitably have to retire this channel. By the way, my channel now, which is way smaller because esports is way bigger and there's way more content creators and now everything's an algorithm, not a subs box. My channel still gets hundreds of thousands of views every single month. But no, I work at McDonald's, I put the fries in the bag and nobody views my channel. That's why hundreds of Rekkles fans are commenting on a video they haven't yet seen because I'm irrelevant. That's what you do with irrelevant people with like 4 followers that no watches. You hunt them out and then spend ages putting comments. Oh no, you don't do that at all. You ignore them because they're irrelevant. My bad. Yes, the typical trash content by a creator with 246,000 followers and only 5k viewers per video. I'll point this out in a past episode. Loads of my viewers are from Counter-Strike. Why would they watch a video about Rekkles? And spoiler, if having this following and my content being trash means I only get 5k viewers, then why did my straight fire Rekkles expose get 300,000? Oh no, my bad again, I forgot. The ones that get loads of videos, some of that doesn't count for me either. But then when the video doesn't get enough views, that counts for me. I think we can almost see why you're a fan of Rekkles. You're a piece of shit too. The dislike talks volumes. Turn the page, buddy. Turn the damn page. Right. So when thousands of people dislike a video they haven't seen, that actually proves the video is trash and doesn't contain any interesting or true information. Yeah, I think we can see now that people who are Rekkles fans hate the truth. Let's see. Are all the people on the internet called Thor insufferable assholes? I mean, mate, you don't know we don't live in your head. No one knows what the fuck that means. Nobody. I don't think anyone knows what that means. Write in on a postcard if you have any clue what the fuck this guy means. Journalism, I literally used real journalistic methods that people like Wooloo don't use. Wooloo has quite literally, I can tell you this for a fact, published news that was completely false, made up and never happened. He has actually done that while claiming to have sources saying it was happening and pretending he's verified those sources. Not gonna lie, Thorin is the narcissistic diva. Again, imagine this video was like, player Y has sexually assaulted women. Oh yeah? I haven't seen it, but maybe you're the rapist. Great, got him. I would love to see how many dislikes this would get. Sadly, YouTube didn't want to promote public negative feedback. So he's now mad they can't just see the number counter go really high on the dislikes. Because remember, the more dislikes, the more untrue the video is. Because that's how popularity works in the world, guys. When someone really famous does something fucked up, if enough of their fans go, hey, it's not true, then it's not true. We find him not guilty because the fans gave a massive dislike account to the prosecution's case. Not guilty, Your Honour. I sentence you to being a legend. Give me a fucking break. Who the hell are you to call someone out? I didn't. What I did was made a video where, you haven't seen the video yet, so you wouldn't know this. You're a fucking dunce. In the video, I explain, these aren't my opinions. I'm not calling anyone out. These are actually the shared collective opinions of a majority of the teammates, coaches, and org figures that were around Rekkles' career. You're a total joke. Okay, brilliant. No matter how bad someone's life is, there's no way they're worse than you. Well, I mean, these are just non sequiturs. They're just absolute not. By the way, these people really are just on Thanos mode. They've just got the reality stone. Reality can be anything I want to be. You know what? Actually, you're just a loser who's never done anything. In fact, not only do you not get any views, I'm not even viewing this now. I'm not even commenting now. No one comments. In fact, you're on your own, Thorin. You're actually a brain in a jar, dreaming it's a man, having this experience. You're not even a journalist. You're just a fucking brain and fucking floating around in some plasma or something. Act your age, not your shoe size. Oh, it's got me there. Except here's the problem, dickhead. Maybe I'm American, in which case my shoe size will be my age. Oh, goddamn, you didn't think it through. So what you mean is, hey, act your age, not your shoe size. Specifically in the UK or countries where the shoe size will be in like 14 or 11 or 12. Yeah, exactly. The joke doesn't work, you dumb fuck. What you're feeling towards Rekkles might just be insecurity, says a guy writing a mad comment like that without even seeing the video. Ooh, this guy down here actually was a fan and got 22 likes. Late Christmas present, but the wait will make this hit so much sweeter. Oh, these are actually some comments at the end of people who wanted to see the video. That's cool. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Narcissism and tantrums better suited for the channel name instead of a tagline on the thumbnail. Hasn't seen the video yet. Here's a good one though. Times are hard though. You do what you gotta do when videos are barely scripted to 4 digits. This one made 6 digits, bitch. How you like that? Have you ever made a YouTube video that had 6 digits? Nah, you haven't had shit. But no, tell me again how me getting 6 digits views doesn't count, but when I don't get it, that counts, because we all know that's a great little angle. Spoiler, if I wasn't making this content roasting you to make another $100, I would never even address you or ever read this comment. I hope you understand that. Actually, I don't give a fuck what you think. Getting all this hate even before the video premieres, just take it down. Don't bother releasing it. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Again, it's not a complete non sequitur, but okay. Coming here to downvote, doing my part. I'll bet you are. By the way, if Rekkles ever did do something really criminal in real life, I bet if there was a button on the internet that covered up the evidence, you would press it. Because that's who you, Rekkles fans, are. You're the last man. You're someone who has no principles or values at all. You're about 1 second from fucking evolving into a worm again. Seek professional help. Yeah, it's me, the one that's outing what a piece of shit Rekkles was to people in a video game for like 10 years, more like 7 years. I'm the one that needs the professional help, not the person you yourself acknowledge supposedly has like magical undiagnosed autism that makes you just do all this insane shit and be the worst teammate ever. Something has seriously gone wrong in your head. By the way, imagine I said all that shit about Rekkles. Remember, I'm autistic. That would be fucked up and ableist, but imagine it's never ableist when a Rekkles fan does it. Because again, Rekkles fans have normalised hating people with autism. This is disgusting content. I hadn't seen the video yet. Let's see. Why are people filled with malicious intent? Like, can't you just be a nice human being? Or at least a normal one, and not try to bully, pause, that sentence could just apply to Rekkles in his career as a teammate. Why not just be a cool teammate and play the game, dickhead? Why be a wanker over and over again for like 7 years straight and ruin everyone's career and fuck with them and emotionally torment them and be a prick to fans? Why do it all? But no, he's God and I'm the devil, so let's go. And defame a pro, right? I've defamed him. I've literally committed, by the way, defamation is a literal crime. Spoiler, I looked it up on a past video. Nothing I did would be defamation, hence why I won't be having a lawsuit against me. For 10 years, didn't do it for 10 years, of course, because that would imply that we went from, I mean, you pick, is it 2012 to 2022? That would be 10 years. Is it 2015 to 2025? You pick. Again, numbers and facts mean nothing to these people. So I've defamed the pro for 10 years, didn't, of course. Don't you think, get ready for this one. Get ready. This is gonna, you won't even be able to comprehend this. Don't you think if he has been a pro for 10 plus years, maybe he is meant to be a pro and not just some narcissistic KDA player? Right, guys, please apply that logic to Perks. Don't you think if Perks has been a pro player, oh, wait, that's right. Perks joined the LEC in 2016, didn't he? And he was playing most recently last year in 2024. So you know what? That's a solid 8 or 9 years. So if he's been playing 8 or 9 years, he could never be someone who inted scrims or argued with people. I mean, he obviously can't be any of those things because he's played for a long time. Maybe he's just meant to be a pro. Anything you don't like, if the pro's played many, many years, he's meant to be a pro. That's totally natural. It's justified by them existing and continuing to be a pro. It's not like, as I pointed out in my video, hence the necessity of the video, that there was the biggest, most insane conspiracy of silence around this guy because, spoiler, they knew lunatics like you would just ruin their lives if they ever outed what he'd done to them. I stand with Rekkles, says someone who hasn't watched the video yet, and for all he knows, I'm about to reveal Rekkles has done some really heinous shit in real life. I stand with him without even seeing it. This is why everyone hates Rekkles fans. You do get that right. This video will change nothing. Hasn't even seen it yet. People will support Rekkles even more after they watch this. Right, so I revealed Rekkles is a really horrible person who caused depression, ruined people's career prospects, ruined their image, lied about them, gaslit them. But actually, finding that out makes them like and support Rekkles even more. By the way, I believe them. I know, look, I'll be charitable. I know he hasn't seen the video yet, so this is a ludicrous, stupid comment. But no, I actually do believe that it does make them support him more. I believe that they are horrible people like Rekkles, and I think even more so, they actually love finding out he's a toxic piece of shit because they're a toxic piece of shit. So it actually makes them, hey, he's just like me for real, for real. I believe that. I think that's true. The video would be more plausible. Like, let's talk about plausibility about one of the only people ever who can say they worked 23 years in the industry, never published a lie, ever. 23 years. But it'd be more plausible if just someone you liked said it, I guess, who has none of those qualifications. This video would be more plausible if it wasn't dropped by a washed-up, hateful leech. But that's just my opinion. I mean, you've nailed the last part, but what's weird is you also then just gave, like, your opinion and it was just about everyone else. So weird. Rekkles is the GOAT. Hasn't seen the video yet. He's just the GOAT. Imagine it actually did reveal he'd, like, sexually assault someone. Hey, I stand with you. You're the GOAT. Like, that's who Rekkles fans are. I hope you get this. Interested in seeing the reactions from the league community / former co-workers when Los Ratones / Rekkles is really trending up in popularity these days. It's weird, the crickets of the majority of the teammates and people who'd worked with him. Because if you don't know in esports, people love to do a gotcha. I didn't say that. I never did that. That's not true. They'll go out their way. How many people came out? 6 people? 5 people? And as most of them said, they weren't the people who talked to me. Kind of hilarious, isn't it? Here's a good one, though. Top one. Wild what people are commenting without watching the video. Maybe wait and watch it first before you talk. You're sick, dude. Yeah, I'm sick. You haven't seen the video yet, of course. Shit content. Don't bother. Thorin who? Right, we're now going to pretend I'm some notorious hater who's built a whole career and decades supported myself on hating only on Rekkles, but also no Rekkles fan knows who I am or has any reason to think I'm relevant, but bizarrely they're all against me, they all said I lied and they all knew what was in the video before I ever seen it. Me thinks the lady doth protest too much / is a shit fuck. Ignore. We shouldn't comment, says a guy commenting. Notice how their behaviour is always just prescriptive to other people, not them. Hey guys, we should just ignore this guy, not mention him, and not click the video and not make a comment. I say after doing all of those things. How about you do it, fuck? How about you show you've got some skin in the game? We shouldn't comment just for this guy to get comments on his video, but sometimes you do it anyway. That doesn't even mean anything. That does not even mean anything at all, does it? Thorin's pockets must be empty, low analyst. Well, this video alone made like $900, mate, so not so empty anymore, are they? And by the way, $900 is fuck all. I make more than that every month off my Patreon, you fucking imbecile. I don't even like Rekkles. This fucking comma is about to do so much work. Get ready, get ready. I don't even like Rekkles. But my initial expectations are that this will be an equivalent of inviting someone, like, pause, he hasn't seen the video, he's just imagining what the video contains. So let's just buckle up. By the way, these people think this is sane behaviour. It's like me going to the movie theatre. Guys, don't go in and see that film. I haven't seen it either, but I imagine what it probably is about. I reckon Act 2, they probably do. What are you talking about, you mentalist? But my initial expectations are that this will be an equivalent of inviting someone's ex to shit on them with stuff like, oh my God, he forgot about my mum's birthday. He is so inconsiderate. While Thorin just nods and inserts his 2 cents about how awful that is. Well, let's just run through this, shall we? Let's see how accurate your estimations were. So it would be the equivalent of inviting someone's ex to shit on them. In a way, yeah, actually a lot of these people were kind of like his exes, but this is more like he beat them in the relationship and then like stole money from them and then like kicked them out the house and lied about them to all their friends and family. Not literally, that's an exaggerated, hyperbolic example. But if you're using this thing of like exes, that would be the equivalent, right? And it's not that he just forgot your mum's birthday. It's that he did stuff like went on a 2-man boot camp and then after day 1 wouldn't speak to the other man for the rest of the time while that person begged him to talk to him. Oh no, that's just like saying he forgot the person's mum's birthday though, isn't it? While Thorin just nods, spoiler, I'm the only one in the video, so I'm nodding, who the fuck knows, and inserts his 2 cents, didn't insert even 0.1 cents, didn't put a single opinion in about how awful that is. All right, well, 0 for like 10 on that one, but okay, good. How desperate are you? Says someone rage typing a comment before seeing a video. Thorin, 41-year boomer. 42 now, but it was 41 at the time. Let's see. Get help! Like, holy, leave Rekkles alone. It's never Rekkles leave all his teammates alone for all those years. I am not fan of Rekkles. Yeah. Your behaviour clearly is not the behaviour of an unhinged fan lying about being a fan. I am not fan of Rekkles. Can't even speak English, by the way. But the amount of shitting you do on him is going too far. Let the man live his life. He says about a player who was one of the worst teammates ever at actually ruining the quality of life and career of other people around him in his career. Here's a good one. So just to show you, because by the way, I keep hearing this nonsense that like Cadrel, unlike other big influencers, has like a really cool community where they're like, you know, he like polices them and makes sure they don't go too far. Spoiler, it didn't actually stop any of these people doing these comments or tell them not to. In fact, he even implied on his stream, I'll talk about this in a future episode, that I created hate content about him. Are you ready for how Cadrel's a gaslighting piece of shit? It was actually talking about a video where Cadrel used his, at the time, tiny platform to say LS has 99% bullshit takes. That's it. That's not Cadrel hating on LS. That's me hating on Cadrel for pointing out how fucked up that is in a community of content creators. And by the way, at the time he took it on the chin, but I noticed how once he got a bit bigger, magically that's hate content now. Even though bizarrely, Rekkles can then go on stream and shit all over G2 and Fnatic and say actually disingenuous things about them and imply they have to keep him hired because they have a long-term contract. Then, separately, admit he tried to fuck with G2 and make sure they couldn't get as much money as they could for his transfer. But no, it's never hate from Rekkles, just hate from me, and never Cadrel or Rekkles. Weird how that works, isn't it? So this is an actual mod of the Los Ratones subreddit after the video initially came out. It goes, "Hi rats, I want to give you all a big shout out and an XDD kiss from the mods." So all those people flooding my chat and my comment with hate comments, saying like I'm a piece of shit, telling me to 0-1 in real life, hope my family wakes up to a grey screen, all the insane shit. I had loads of every method, Facebook, Instagram. People even went, by the way, onto stuff like the Thunderpick website and found ways to message me there to write fuck up. No, we're going to thank all these people. We were pretty worried about the chat today. He means the chat in my premiere that they mobbed, by the way. Considering the circumstances, but for the most part, not at all for the most part, I actually had to put loads of words in the banned words part, otherwise the whole thing would have been spammed with signal noise the whole time. There would have been no convo, because they're so ignorant, they didn't even want to just argue. They wanted to shut down all discussion of what Rekkles had done in his career. You've all flooded the chat with support and love for Rekkles. So when I'm having a premiere and people could discuss the video, when there were thousands of them and they're just putting like, heart Rekkles, heart, he's thanking them for doing that. He's encouraging and thanking them for that behaviour. As Los Ratones and its members grow in popularity, people will inevitably try to bring them down in desperate grasps for attention. Right, my whole video about how when Rekkles wasn't in Los Ratones, not a single thing is about him being in Los Ratones, was a really horrible teammate to other people. That's just because Los Ratones is big now and this is a desperate grasp for attention. Which, by the way, he's now thanking people for giving me because he's a fucking dunce. And it's important to not give it to them. He even admits he was in the chat. He was watching the premiere, but he didn't give me this attention. It's important to not give it to them and rather focus on supporting the boys in the project. I've seen so many of you advocating for that approach today, and I want to thank you for that. Often communities get shouted at for acting toxic or unfair, he says as he goes out of his way not to address that, after Rekkles' fans have been some of the most toxic ever in the history of esports within a single week. If you don't know, they did stuff like go back 2 weeks before and try and thumb down every single video and make comments on videos that weren't even about League of Legends, just talking about Rekkles and me and being a piece of shit and 41-year-olds. But no, let's pretend that didn't happen and that was just a few bad apples. Spoiler, it was thousands of people. Let's see. But it's just as important to give props to them for coming together and supporting its members. They didn't support Rekkles. What they did is hate on me. That's quite different. You guys are awesome. Brilliant. And if you want to send love to Rekky and show him your love, you can head over here and leave positive messages, anecdotes, mementos, pictures, art, and other supportive messages for him and the LR boys. Notice he didn't say this before the video came out. Like, hey guys, don't comment or say anything negative to Thorin. Just go here and say something positive to Rekkles and make the world a better place. He waited till they'd already done all their hate on me and then basically just said, remember to give Rekky the old Glock 9000 at the same time because he might be feeling bad about what a piece of shit he was, unacknowledged. Thanks, rats. XDD Kiss, Bab Kiss. That's a mod of the Lost Retorners subreddit. That's who Rekkles' current fan base is. Oh yeah? You and whose army? Well, how about the Skrilluminati for one? They're the people who support my content. This video was kindly supported by The Concept, Matt, Pugnatio, Rajcula, Thooorin, Jensen Goh, Tosh, Jasun, Banediesel, Animosity, and you know it, everyone does. A special thanks goes out to my main man, Jerky's Minion, for the long-term support. Do you want to ask a question for my AMA videos? Would you like teasers? Find out what upcoming guests I've got? You want to suggest a topic or a guest? Maybe you want to be part of one of those 1 hour lengthy online discussions I do where the topics are set by you. Well, if any of these perks or more tickle your fancy, I think you know what to do by now. Put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati, where Patreon link in the description below.